This is the Achievement 5 drill test for Cadet Tech Sergeant Esther Hollingsworth. And the first thing I'd like for you to do is describe how you would have a flight fall in.
The flight sergeant, me, would go to in front of wherever they want the flight to fall in and call fall in, and they will fall in on me.
Okay. And after that, you want to have the flight check its alignment by performing dress right. How would you command that, and what would the flight do?
The preparatory command is dress right, and then on dress, the flight will align themselves.
And how exactly do they do that? What does the flight perform?
They will put their left arms out and turn their heads to a 45-degree angle to check their alignment with the next person, except for the two on the end. And then I will check alignment by turning 45 degrees and marching to the first element and checking the heels. And then subsequently the second, third, and fourth element, and I'll march back to my place.
Okay.
And call ready front to bring them back to attention.
Okay. And from there, if you were to need the flight to open ranks, what would be the command, and how is it performed by the flight?
Open ranks is the preparatory command, and march is the command of execution. The first element is going to take 3 steps forward. The second will take 2 steps. Third will take 1 step, and the fourth will stand fast.
Okay. And once you're done with inspection or whatever it was that caused you to open ranks, how would you command the flight to close ranks, and what would they do subsequent to that command?
Preparatory command, close ranks. March is the command of execution. The first element is going to stand fast. The second element will take 1 step forward. The third element will take 2 steps forward, and the fourth element will take 3 steps forward.
Okay. Let's imagine that you're about to march the flight. How would you have the flight face to the right?
Right face. Right is the preparatory command, and then on face is the command of execution, and they will all turn right.
Okay. You've given the command forward march, and the flight is marching along, and you want them to perform a flanking move to the right. What is the command, and what does the flight do?
Right flank, the preparatory command is called on the right foot, and then the subsequent command of execution is called on the next right foot, march, and the flight will immediately pivot 90 degrees
Okay.
to the right.
Let's say instead that you want the flight in column formation to perform a column movement as opposed to a flanking movement. What is the command for a column to the right, and how does the flight execute that movement?
On column right march, the fourth element leader will immediately turn 90 degrees and go to half step, and the rest of his column will follow. The third column leader will turn 45 degrees, take 2 steps, turn another 45, fall in beside the fourth element. The second element leader will pivot 45 degrees, take 4 steps, pivot another 45 degrees, fall in beside the other 2. And then the first element leader will pivot, take 6 steps, pivot, and fall in. And then forward march will bring them back to regular step.
Okay. And you want to reverse the direction of the flight as they're marching. What is the command, and how is it performed?
Change step, march. Change step is called on the
You want to reverse the direction.
Flight. To the rear march, is called on the right foot, and they will pivot to the rear. It's called on the right foot. Then march is called the next right foot, and they will pivot a full 180 degrees to the rear.
Okay.
To the right.
You were about to explain change step.
Change step march.
So, what is the command, and what does the flight do in response to the command?
Change step march is called on the right foot, and cadets will then take a full step with the left foot, bring the ball of the right foot in line with the heel of the left foot, and then push off, stepping off with the left foot.
Okay. How would you command the flight in line formation, line or column formation, to perform left steps?
The preparatory command is left steps. Then on march, march is called with heels together. The cadets will step out and in. The halt is called with heels together, and the cadets will then take one more step.
Okay. What's the preparatory command for halting the flight?
Flight.
Okay. And your flight is halted in column formation, and you want them to extend. What is the command, and what does the flight do?
On extend march, the first element leader is going to pivot
At the halt,
Right.
so there's no pivoting.
at the halt. Okay. Oh, the first element leader is going to take 4 steps. The second, no, 6 steps. And the second is going to take 4. Third is going to take 2, and the fourth will stand fast.
Okay, so first element goes 6, second element goes 4, third element goes 2, and the fourth element stands fast. Okay, in contrast, let's say that your flight is marching. How would they perform extend march on the march?
On the march, the first element leader is going to pivot, take 2 steps, and then pivot another 45-degree angle. The second element is going to pivot 45 degrees, take 2 steps, and pivot another 45 degrees. The third element is going to pivot, take 6 steps, pivot again. And the fourth element will pivot. No, the fourth element stands fast.
Okay, so they're marching along. What does the fourth element do while the
It'll go
other
to half
elements are
step.
making movements? Okay.
And a half step.
And as the flight sergeant, what will you command once everyone has completed their movements?
Forward march to get them back. in.
Okay. How do you command the flight to sound off with count cadence?
Count cadence count is called on the right foot. Oh, right, left, right, and then and then the next left foot is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 3 on the left foot, 2 and 4 on the right foot.
Okay, and the whole flight is sounding off with those numbers?
Those numbers.
Okay. Your flight is halted in column formation, and you want to form them into a single file from the left-hand side. How would you make the command?
Column of files from the left. That'd be the first element leader is going to call over his shoulder at a 45-degree angle, forward march. The other 3 element leaders are going to call over their shoulder at a 45-degree angle, stand fast, and they're going to march forward. And when the next element, the second element leader, sees them coming up, sees the last cadet in line, he was going to call forward, and his line will fall in, and then the third and fourth elements will do the same. That's it.
Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you.
All right.